Watch this. As we get into the text in Ezra, you got to understand the Bible says, here it is, Zerubbabel is leading about 50,000 of the Israelites out of captivity. And because he's leading these people out of captivity, the Bible says the first order of business, watch this, the first order of business when they get into Jerusalem was not to run after prosperity. But the first order of business that the Bible says that Zerubbabel does with the people right after they arrive is what they do is that they set up, amen, the sacrificial altar. God, you got to, y'all didn't hear that. I would have gave God a praise right there. Amen. Because watch this. Too often what we're doing, because we're running after prosperity, we're trying to build a house with money and not pray. You can't build a house with money. It won't stand. But you got to build a house. Amen. The only way the foundation is going to be sure, it's got to be laid with prayer. Prayer. Amen. You can't lay it with anything else. Amen. And some of you still ain't got that. Because you're still looking, amen, saying, Lord, I want to buy this house, but I ain't got no down payment. I want to do this, but I ain't got no closing costs. I ain't got this. But you better turn to Genesis chapter 3, verse 14, and look at what Abraham did. Come here, Abraham. What the Bible says what Abraham did. He built an altar. Baby, you got to build an altar. You got to get on your knees. Amen. That's what you got to do, deacon. You got to get on your knees. You got to start praying. Lord, I know what you showed me to do. But I need you to take control of it. Oh, God. Here it is. Watch this. Can I tell you? While I'm in promise. Come on, Bible students. Y'all still with me? While I'm in promise. The purpose was not for the children of Israel to have a place to worship evangelists. It wasn't for that. But the purpose of the tabernacle, amen, was not for them to have a place of worship. But watch this. It was a place for God to dwell.
Come on. Amen. Yes.
And when you fast forward to grace, that's what the church has gotten mixed up. Because you thought it was a place to come in and worship and show off your new clothes and your new car and how much money you got in your bank, and to complain about what the church is getting, what they ain't getting. I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. And you missed the point that God gave you a house so that he can dwell amongst his people. Before I close it, I'm just about ready to close. But I want you to get this. I want you to get and understand this. See, what happened in these different eras of time, you have promise, you have the law, and then you have grace. See, God has always desired to be in the midst of worship.
Amen.
See, you can come to church and worship. That don't mean you're worshiping God.
Amen.
The only way that we're going to come out of confusion, look at your neighbor and tell him, you got to come out of self. Yeah. Self is the stumbling block that the devil has put over in front of you. And every time God gets ready to move, amen, he's moving, but you keep tripping over yourself. Watch this. But what happens that causes us to have this self issue is because we as man has failed to watch the gates of our souls. Watch it. See, let me explain it to you. The gates to your soul is your eyes, your ears, your nose, your hands. Watch this. And that unruly little devil is your tongue. Thing that I learned in the Old Testament. Watch this. Come here. Come here. Y'all come close. Come close. Come close. Get it there to your seat. Come close. It's a secret. I can't tell you. I can't talk loud. I can't shout this. Watch this. I'm not playing, but I'm serious. You know why? What happened is, in the Old Testament, see, God recognized that we are made up of body, soul, and spirit. See, what God did in the Old Testament, he wrapped himself around the outside. Yeah, because he dwelled amongst them. But when he recognized that man tried to operate in his own strength, he said, no, I can't operate on the outside, so I got to reverse the order. I got to come on the inside, and I got to get on the inside of them, and I got to have the spirit. So, in other words, it's man's behavior that drove God from the outside to the inside.
Hey, come on.
And so here it is. The Bible tells us what was God's blueprint in doing it. I got to go to grace to it, amen, in order, God, to describe this to you. Because the Bible says in John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's enough right there. But then you drop down to verse number 14, and the Bible says, and the Word became flesh, and it dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, and full of the Father, full of grace, full of mercy. God says, don't you know that you are the temple of God? I don't hear nobody. You got to understand that you are the temple of God. Yes. And Paul later said, but you've been paid for with a price. Somebody ought to say, the blood of Jesus covers me. Every time God comes with calamities, he's got to pass over me, because the blood is over me. The blood is in my spirit. The blood is in my home. The blood is in my house. Look at your neighbor and say, restore the house. Yes, baby, you got to restore the house with the blood, because there's life in the blood. Oh God, without no blood, there's no remission for your sins. Yes, look at it. I got happy when I read Revelation chapter number 21 and verse number 3. This is where I got happy at. And you can take a Tylenol, and how does he know where to go? Because what happens now, pain has pain receptors. Oh! And the children of God, when you're stuck in need of God, God feels your pain receptors. And all you got to do is call on the name of Jesus. And he'll go right to the source. Oh my, you gotta hear me. See, what's happening in the church is too many people are walking out in pain because the word is being played with. It has not been spoken with power and authority. Oh God, when you speak the words with power and authority, demons gotta move. Sickness gotta go. Emotions controlling the church. I'm tired of complaining, controlling the church. The devil is a lie. want to show them after this. What the word does is it's like this. See, when they build a bridge, whether it be over dry land or whether it be over water. See, and I like the fact when they build it over water, because when they build it over water, it looks like a situation that you can't conquer, and it looks like it's uncontrollable. Yes, but what I want you to know, the first thing that they do, geologists have to inspect the bottom of the ground to make sure the foundation is all right. And when they make sure the foundation is all right, they have to put a barrel down in the foundation so they can drain all of the stuff that's got you bound out of the way. And the reason they got to pull all the stuff that has you bound out of the way, because now they have to put a driller that drills down beyond the surface until they get to the bedrock of the earth. Woo. And when they get to the bedrock of the earth, then they begin to, watch this, put steel rods into the bedrock. And then they begin to fill the bedrock with cement. And until they fill it all the way up to the top. So the bridge would never